Hello everyone, I am विभोर बाकलीवाल फिजिकल थेरेपिस्ट। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि आज हमारा टॉक शो है और हमारा टाइम हो चुका है, पर हम थोड़ा वेट करेंगे क्योंकि कुछ मेंबर्स हैं जो अभी हमारे टॉक शो में ज्वाइन होने वाले हैं। तो हम 2-3 मिनट वेट करते हैं, फिर हम स्टार्ट करते हैं हमारे टॉक शो को। आई होप कि आप सब इन्जॉय कर रहे होंगे। आज संडे भी है, तो हैप्पी संडे टू यू एवरीवन। और मैं हमारी ऑडियंस को बताना चाहता हूँ कि टाइम्स फिजियो टॉक शो का ये 4th एपिसोड है और मैं आज के लाइव सेशन के लिए बहुत ही ज़्यादा सुपर एक्साइटेड हूँ और आई गेस आप भी होंगे मेरे साथ एक्साइटेड, क्योंकि आज हम बात करने वाले हैं हाउ टू बी अ फिजियोप्रेनर। फिजियोप्रेनरशिप के बारे में आज हम इस टॉक शो में बात करने वाले हैं। अब आप लोग सब सोच रहे होंगे कि यार ये फिजियोप्रेनर क्या है। हमने तो एंटरप्रेनर सुना है, एंटरप्रेनरशिप के बारे में सुना है, तो ये नया क्या लेके आए हो आप लोग? व्हाट इज फिजियोप्रेनर? अब फिजियोप्रेनर क्या है, इसकी एग्जैक्ट या सही डेफिनेशन तो जो हमारे आज के गेस्ट हैं उनसे अच्छा कोई डिस्क्राइब नहीं कर सकता। और हमारे गेस्ट शॉर्टली हमें अभी ज्वाइन करेंगे। हम वेट करते हैं 1-2 मिनट। इस लाइव सेशन में हम आज फिजियोप्रेनर और फिजियोथेरेपी के बारे में बात करने वाले हैं। अगर किसी भी मेंबर के कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं, वो चाहते हैं कि हम उनके क्वेश्चंस को यहाँ पर डिस्कस करें, तो आप हमें मैसेज कर सकते हैं। हम पूरी कोशिश करेंगे आप सभी के क्वेश्चंस को यहाँ पर एक्सप्लेन करने की, आंसर करने की। ओके ठीक है। तो मैं आप सबको बताना चाहूँगा कि आज जो हमारे गेस्ट हैं इस टॉक शो पे, उनका नाम है डॉक्टर प्रियंका भांडगे मैम एंड मिस्टर किरण भांडगे सर। सर और मैम दोनों ने थाउजेंड्स ऑफ फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट को ट्रेंड किया है उनके स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम के थ्रू। और उनकी जो वर्कशॉप है, जो उनका स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम है, हम उसके बारे में भी आज थोड़ा सा डिटेल में बात करने वाले हैं। डॉक्टर प्रियंका मैम जो है, उन्हें मोर देन 18 ईयर्स ऑफ क्लिनिकल एक्सपीरियंस है। उन्होंने एमपीटी किया है ऑर्थो में। शी इज़ द मेंबर ऑफ इंडियन एसोसिएशन ऑफ फिजियोथेरेपी। मैम ने बुक लिखी है, शी इज़ ऑथर ऑल्सो। उन्होंने बैक पेन के ऊपर बहुत ही अच्छी बढ़िया बुक लिखी है। आप चाहे तो उन्हें अमेज़ोन से ऑर्डर कर सकते हैं उस बुक को। शी इज़ यूट्यूबर ऑल्सो, मतलब उन्होंने यूट्यूब पे भी काफ़ी सारे वीडियोस जो हैं उन्हें मस्कुलोस्केलेटल कंडीशंस से रिलेटेड वीडियोस को पोस्ट किया है। वो बहुत ही अच्छे वीडियोस को, ट्रू इन्फॉर्मेशन को प्रोवाइड करते हैं अपने यूट्यूब चैनल पे। शी इज़ द चीफ फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट एंड द फाउंडर ऑफ www.leadphysio.com। एंड हमारे जो नेक्स्ट गेस्ट है मिस्टर किरण सर, उन्होंने MBA किया है मार्केटिंग में और ही इज़ द क्रिएटर ऑफ C5 सिस्टम ऑफ क्लिनिकल प्रैक्टिस में उन्होंने क्रिएट किया है। सो सून द गेस्ट हमें ज्वाइन करने वाले हैं। अच्छा, क्या मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है प्रॉपरली? एम आई ऑडिबल टू एवरीवन? ओके, तो हम ज़्यादा टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करते हैं, हम डायरेक्टली हमारे गेस्ट जो हैं उनको वेलकम करते हैं। हेलो सर। ओके, तो हम
Just give me a second.
नहीं करते हैं, हम डायरेक्टली हमारे गेस्ट।
Just give me a second. Yeah, am I audible and visible?
यस सर।
Great.
Hello.
हेलो
Hello, Vibha.
मैम। Hello,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon,
Hello.
everyone. Hope our voice is audible and loud to all of you.
Yes, ma'am. मैम सर थोड़ा सा कैमरा एंगल आप ठीक कर लीजिए.
Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah. Right? Is that
Yes,
okay?
sir.
Okay. Great.
First of
Great.
all, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for giving your Sunday. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and wish you and your viewers of all the Times Physio channel and the new joiners over here a very happy New Year, happy and prosperous New Year as such. Yeah.
हाँ, सर. सर आज का जो हमारा टॉपिक है हाउ टू बी अ फिजियोप्रेन्योर. ये मतलब काफ़ी टाइम से मैं आपको फॉलो कर रहा था आपके अकाउंट को, और मैं चाह रहा था कि जो हमारी ऑडियंस है उन्हें भी पता चले, क्योंकि मतलब मैंने आपका देखा है कि जो आपका फ्लायर है वो ज़्यादा ऑडियंस तक शायद रीच नहीं हो पाता, और हमारा जो टाइम्स फिजियो का जो इंस्टाग्राम पेज है वहाँ पे ज़्यादातर ऑडियंस मतलब स्टूडेंट्स ही हैं, प्रोफेशनल्स भी है पर स्टूडेंट्स ज़्यादा है. और मैं चाहता हूँ हमारे इस टॉक शो के माध्यम से जो हमारे फिजियोज हैं, अपकमिंग फिजियोज हैं, उन्हें मतलब थोड़ा एंटरप्रेन्योर और फिजियोप्रेन्योरशिप के बारे में पता चले. सो
Right.
हमने सर इस टॉक शो को अरेंज किया है इसलिए. सो सर टाइम्स फिजियो की पूरी टीम आपको जानती है. आपने थाउजेंड्स ऑफ फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट को ट्रेन किया है आपके सॉफ्ट स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम के थ्रू. प्रोफेशनल और जो अपने लेजेंड फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट है वो सब आपको जानते हैं, पर हमारे कुछ ऑडियंस है जिनके लिए आप बिल्कुल नए हैं. सो आई वांट यू गाइस टू इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ.
Great, great, great. So myself, Kirronn Bhandagey. Okay, and I have finished my BE Mechanical with MBA in Marketing. Okay, and since 2009, we basically are practicing together. Okay, I look after the management part of it, and Dr. Priyanka looks after on the technical front as such. Okay, so we together have, you can say, the built the Real Physio brand. Okay, from zero to national level, national best healthcare brand of the national, you can say. Okay, so in 2016. And this is how basically we have created an you can say a brand in the physiotherapy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm Dr. Priyanka Bhandagey. So again, I'll not introduce myself because you have already introduced.
Yeah.
We'll come directly to the topic and questions. I hope this will be work.
मैम
Right.
जैसा कि मतलब ये टॉक शो अरेंज करने के पहले हमने इंस्टाग्राम पर एक क्वेश्चन पोल लगाया था कि फिजियोप्रेनर या फिजियोप्रेनरशिप को लेके किसी भी कंटेस्ट मतलब मेंबर को अगर कोई डाउट है तो वो हमें कर मतलब मैसेज कर सकते हैं. और आप मैम यकीन नहीं मानोगे हमारे पास थाउजेंड्स ऑफ मैसेजेस आए हैं फिजियो पर, क्योंकि मैम मतलब हमने हमेशा जो इंटरव्यू मतलब किए हैं हमारे चैनल पे वो हमने कपिंग थेरेपी है, कार्डियो से रिलेटेड टॉपिक है, स्पोर्ट्स इंजरी से रिलेटेड टॉपिक है, पर हमारी जो ऑडियंस है या इवन मैं हूँ मेरे लिए भी फिजियोप्रेनर एक बहुत ही यूनिक और नया वर्ड है. ये थोड़ा सा एंटरप्रेनर से डिफरेंट है. तो जो ज्यादातर जो क्वेश्चंस आए थे हमारे लिए वो यही था कि व्हाट इज फिजियोप्रेनरशिप या हु इज फिजियोप्रेनर, या आप फिजियोथेरेपी जो है उसको एक एंटरप्रेनर से कैसे कंबाइन करते हैं. सो ये फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन था.
Okay. See, you can say physiopreneur is nothing but a physiotherapist. Okay, with a management and the entrepreneur skill sets. Okay, and is not a simply an you can say a technocrat. Okay, when I'm saying a technocrat, it's typically only with the technical skills, right? Because see, they are now you can say the experts both in technical as well as the management skill sets. Okay, and that is what is required for the practice. Okay, for you to grow, you will need to have both the skills, right? And another key aspect, I would like to highlight here is they have now the clarity, they have now the strong values, okay, and vision, and with that confidence, okay, having both the skills together, okay. Now they are helping both. They are able to, you can say, achieve one their personal goals, second the professional goals, and the third one is the patient goals. Okay, that we develop a healthy community, okay, healthy professional identity, and that's how we are all going to grow together. Okay, see, this is a solopreneurship job, right? When we are saying a clinical practitioners, okay, it's a more of a solopreneur job as such. Okay, but having that solopreneurship and knowing only the technical skill sets, okay, won't be helpful. Okay, you need to, because see, it is, you can say, when we are talking about practice, it is a wholesome practice. It's a wholesome business, you can say, wherein you will need to understand the business functionalities as well, right? So if you are not having that kind of a skill sets as such, then you are limiting your growth. Just not growth, I would say, you are limiting your the potential itself. Okay, potential of reaching people, potential of reaching to it could be any these things. It's not necessarily limited to the local people as such. Okay, wherein in your area, okay, it could be your local area, it could be your the city, it could be your district, it could be state, it could be nation, or it could be even the international global level as well. Okay, so when you have both skills, have a fair understanding of both skills as such, then you'll be able to grow faster, you'll be able to grow better, and you'll be able to take on any challenges that basically comes in picture as such, right? So that is the reason we have created these courses as such. We have come up with these courses so that these are basically being provided to the people, and they can have an unstoppable growth as such.
सर, आपके जो फीडबैक्स हैं जो यूट्यूब पे आपने पोस्ट किए हैं, मैंने देखा है सर, काफ़ी मतलब जो फिजियोज हैं, प्रोफेशनल फिजियोज, उन्होंने बहुत ही ज़्यादा पॉजिटिव रिस्पांस आपको दिया है। मैंने देखा था, रिसर्च किया था, तो मतलब बहुत ही अच्छा है आपका है। और आपका जो फ्लायर है सर, मैंने उसमें देखा है कि आपने ऐसे लिखा है क्लियरली कि नो कॉलेज, नो यूनिवर्सिटी, नो वर्कशॉप, नो कॉन्फ्रेंस, ये कोई नहीं सिखाएगा आपको। सर, ये मैं जानना चाहूँगा कि व्हाट इज E2E फिजियोथेरेपी क्लिनिकल प्रैक्टिस स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम जो आपने लॉन्च किया है, ये क्या है सर?
Right. See, those slogans, you can say, are not created by us. Okay, they are the feedback given by the our participants itself, right? There are so many feedbacks, I mean, those words, which they have shared. Okay, that that itself, we have put it into those flyers as such.
Brand बन चुका है सर.
Correct. Right. And see, the reason why this has become so popular or valuable as such is it includes everything. When I am saying everything, that's the reason it's called end to end. Okay. So what has been taught to us, again, that too in a limited way, is you can say the assessment part, the diagnosis part, then the treatment. Okay, these are the typical technical skill sets that you have basically been taught as such. But apart from that, okay, when I'm saying end to end, right, the first and the foremost thing that basically comes into picture is mindset, right? Ki, do we have a right frame of mindset before going to launch our own clinic as such, open a clinic, right? So be it a clinic, be it a job, or basically practice karne se pehle, do we have a right mindset?
Yeah.
Right? Because without having a mindset, believe me, nothing can be done.
Yes,
and right at the level of an you can say the academic career itself, there are so many the negative thoughts that is basically being put on to people as such. कि इसमें कुछ नहीं है, ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, दुनिया भर के जो भी है, ठीक है ना? So by the time the students complete the graduation itself, they come up with so much of a negativity and all those things as such. Okay, they have lost a hope. So to rebuild that hope, okay, what is required is a mindset. Okay, ठीक है, mindset to, and mindset is not at a one time. Okay, it has to be on a consistent basis, and it has to be there till the end of your life, you can say, right? One is a mindset. Then comes, हाँ ठीक है, आपने practice करना शुरू करना चाहोगे, ठीक है ना? Then what comes next? Okay, कि you need a space, right? When you need a space, what kind of a space that you basically need? Location I'm talking about. Okay, not a space like through 200 or 300 square feet as but a location. Okay, wherein your efforts on the marketing goes less. Okay, and more often your core skills जहाँ पे आप ज्यादा काम कर सको और किसके साथ करना है और किसके साथ नहीं करना है, and कैसा कुछ एक लोकेशन हो जहाँ पे least of a marketing effort you can get on a constant flow of patients as such, right? Then वो identify करके ले लिया. Then what? Okay, yes, you need an equipments. So what kind of an equipments that are required, right? So those equipments should not be on only aesthetically, hi-fi sort of these things, right? And everything should be connected here, right? जो आप treatment का आपका plan है for each of the conditions as such, उसके लिए आपको equipments कौन से लगने वाला है? It's a reversing back, not going forward. Yes, everything should be connected, right? तो वही आप equipments लोगे जो कि आपको treatment में लगने वाला है. Not something which is just हाँ 2 लाख का कर लिया, 3 लाख का कर लिया, हाँ ये market में trend है, you don't go by the trend. Okay, you need to have the substance, right? जो substance है उसमें अगर focus करोगे तो believe me, in just 50,000 rupees you'll be able to open a clinic. Yeah. Okay, can give you a revenue of at least over 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees per physiotherapist per month on month basis. Okay, but do we have that skill, right? आपने equipment करके ले लिया, ठीक है? Now before launching a clinic as such, okay, so you need a marketing, right? So what is that marketing that is required? लोगों को 2,000 rupees के ऊपर budget नहीं होता है marketing में, okay? And people talk about, I do not have the marketing skill. That is the reason I'm not successful. That myth, I would say. If that could be an right case, तो हर एक product और service दुनिया में जो है ना सिर्फ marketing से hit हो जाना चाहिए. Yes. Because I have a marketing, I can spend huge on marketing and I can take any product or a service hit. That is not possible, right? Unless a product or service, okay, cannot perform, marketing can't do anything. And marketing is an expense center. It's not a profit center, right? हाँ, तो marketing करके ले लिया, right? Then what? Okay, तो जब patients phone करेंगे inquiries के लिए, okay, so do we have the justifications? Okay, are we able to handle those questions in an scientific, in an ethical and logical way, so that you are able to solve the queries, right? हाँ, वो करके ले लिया. Then what? Patient comes, right? Assessment. Do you have the assessment protocols ready with you for any of the cases, right? Then post which the diagnosis. Most of the people feel go for a pathological diagnosis, okay, which are not PT diagnosis first of all, right? Because आपका treatment PT diagnosis के ऊपर dependent है, not on the pathological diagnosis, right? So PT diagnosis किस तरह से होना चाहिए, right? एक बार PT diagnosis हो गया तो you are going to prescribe that how many number of days of a treatment is required. Okay, तो यहाँ पे assessments में ही problem हो जाता है. Okay, people come with a prescription and you just follow. That is not the way, first of all. Okay, to be frank, this thing, right? So diagnosis करने के बाद जब आप justification की बात आती है कि कितने दिन का treatment लगेगा. Okay, it could be a month, it could be 2 months, it could be in 3 months, it could be in a year, depending, right? Or it could be in a week also, right? So उस केस में do we have the justification to tell them why this number of days are required, this prescription duration is required, right? तो वो होने के बाद then each day wise the treatment, right? And of course the counseling that goes on back to back, okay, because it's not an 2 days, 3 days or 4 days of a treatment. And believe me, let me tell you very, very frankly, the people who are doing 3 days, 4 days, 1 day, maximum 1 week of an treatment, that is not a physiotherapy. Yeah. Sure. Right. It's a very, very clear. Right. So वो होने के बाद जब आपका एक consistency पे जब clinical work होता रहेगा, then you need an operational skills. right? Otherwise, what happens is, you become a commodity, wherein you are trading your time with money. Okay, so you don't have me time, right? So you will have to
Challenges.
make sure that you run the clinic, one clinic, or it could be a multiple clinics smoothly without you being present, right? And prior to that, one most important point that basically comes into picture is the pricing. So people do not know how to price their services, right? Very, very vague. Okay, there is no consistency, there is no you can say the uniformity, there is no absolutely the standardization in the pricing as such. Okay, so people think less price means okay, more price. Okay, there is no benchmark, right? Or even if you ask why this price, not able to justify, right? And people feel shy away in expressing first of all the price, right? कि ये price बोलने से भी कतराते हैं, right? So this is what is needs to be an issue, okay, which again gets addressed, right? Then once that admin comes into picture, okay, then your the HR skills, right? See, what happens is, when we are talking about entrepreneurship, when we are talking about something called as an doing an service, okay, don't think that it should be limited to you only, right? You must hire people, right? To hire people, you need to have the recruitment skills, you need to have the interview skills, you need to understand how to manage a team, right? So that thing basically comes in picture, right? So post which, there are systems that is required, the softwares, right? See, not necessary that you are going to develop here, but you need to understand what all the things that goes in, because we are providing everything in the level 2 program as such, okay, wherein the customized software programs which we have developed, okay, we are also providing it to them for their use as such, so that they can grow, right? And both in you can say the clinical platform as well as the telephysiotherapy platform. Okay, the telephysiotherapy platform, in fact, gives people to reach the patients who probably could be across any other location as such. Could be the remotest of the remote location, or it could be any of the things, right? So when we, and most important, the marketing, as I've already mentioned, right? So these are all the things that are required, okay, and not necessary that you will have to be mastering everything. Okay, what is required is you need to understand all these perspectives so that you'll be able to get the things done at least, right? See, you can speak that language with the person whom you are getting the things done, so that you understand, they understand. When you both speak in the same language, then things become easier.
Communicate.
And exactly. And because you are lagging in all these skills as such, and that is the reason you don't take a risk, right? So when you understand all the aspects of a clinical practice as such, a 360-degree view of a practice as such, then you are much confident to take a risk, right? And you are much confident to go ahead in the practice as such, right? See, we have cases where people have left the profession some 20 years back, right? Believe me, what the story he basically shared is their parents want him to become a doctor, right? He became a doctor, but he could not able to survive, so he left the job, left this profession, and joined some prescriptions, that medical transcriptions and everything as such, right? After doing this course, okay, he came back and he opened his own clinic, and he is running it successfully. And believe me, what he said is, जो मेरे पेरेंट्स का 20 साल का पहले का जो ड्रीम था सर, वो आज पूरा हुआ. अब अभी मुझे डॉक्टर मतलब अब मैं लगा सकता हूँ ऐसे. Exactly, not just feeling, he's literally practicing, right? So this is what it has given to the people. Okay, that is the reason I would say we are rather being chosen by the God, okay, to provide this kind of a service to bring this transformation in this industry so that people get benefited out of it, and the profession overall grows, and the community basically is getting helped, the patient community.
सर मैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन मैम से है, जैसा कि अभी आपने बताया कि देयर आर सो मेनी फिजियोस जो मतलब इस प्रोफेशन में आने के बाद उनको बहुत नेगेटिविटी मतलब लगता है, उनको लगता है कि स्कोप नहीं है। और हमारा टाइम्स फिजियो टॉक शो का भी एक यही एम है कि जो प्रोफेशनल्स या जो स्टूडेंट्स ऐसा फील करते हैं कि नेगेटिविटी है या स्कोप नहीं है, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं उनको सही डायरेक्शन नहीं मिल पाता। क्लिनिक सेटअप इज वेरी इजी, बट हाउ टू रन क्लिनिक वो डिफिकल्ट है, वो स्मार्ट वर्क है, वो कोई सिखाता नहीं है। तो मैम मेरा आपसे ये क्वेश्चन है कि यू एज क्लिनिकल फिजियो, what drawbacks and hurdles you face during your physiopreneur journey?
So basically, as a physiotherapist, when I started my career during graduation level, post that like in time of during internship, everywhere the scenario was like the way sir already mentioned, that prescription based treatment, because in the college life we learned lot of theoretical things.
Yeah.
And it's like everything is like we're going to do it on patients and all that things. But the fact is that the moment you go out, like in your from the starting of your internship, posting in hospitals and everywhere, the treatment is like only do passive movements,
Yeah.
or just for all that things. And that time I realized that what is this? Why we learned all these things?
Same
and
thing,
why
repeat and repeat.
exactly.
Yeah.
Why we are doing all the things? And when it comes to like maybe the HOD or seniors, no one is like doing anything different. Everyone is following the same things.
Yeah.
But somehow I feel that this is not the actual way. If the paraplegic patient can walk, तो उसको चलना ही है. Anyhow, we need to make him walk. So it is as simple as that. See, please understand, physiotherapy is very simple, but to understand that simplicity needs a huge in-depth of knowledge. But the problem is here, we always focus just the way already sir mentioned, the trend. Chalo, jo focus main physiotherapy, what is physiotherapy? There we are not focusing, but we are focusing on the trends. Like, okay, what comes in the practice new? Let me try this thing. Let me try that thing. But in my throughout my 18 plus years of practice, I have only and only focused on the mother physiotherapy. That is all about the physiotherapy exercises. And that is actually, I can say, the crux of success of patient recovery. And obviously then for the being a physio. So whenever I started my, first of all, career as a job in the hospital, there was also too much of challenges, like you have to follow the prescription based treatment and you have to follow the surgeon's prescription and all that things. But the thing is that I took a very like because of my nature of bold decision, like जिंदगी जीने के दो तरीके होते, जो हो रहा है उसे होने दो, बट बाद में उसको आप नाम भी मत रखो कि दिस देयर इज नो स्कोप, ऐसा ही है वैसा ही है. नो, if you want change, first of all you need to change yourself, then only you can see the change in the society, or let's say with your community or throughout the world. And that is the thing I did. I'm a physiotherapist, give me patient, I will do everything for my patient, what you want. And this needs actually in-depth understanding about our own profession. First of all, it is not like only going with acha, pain means physiotherapy, pain means patient, and pain means I am a physiotherapist. So iske aage jana padega. It is just an iceberg. Pain is not the problem. Beyond pain, actually our job starts actually. But the thing is that in the hospitals and everywhere, wherever the limitation comes, we cannot blame others because they are doing that way. But at least being a physiotherapist, what I did, so I always took basically my this thing. I always take responsible myself, not to anyone else. Because if I am a physiotherapist, it is my responsibility to give 100% result to that patient. So for that, what I should be going to do for that patient. And that way I started my journey for my patient's recovery point of view. And that way then मतलब ऐसा है, बोलना नहीं है, you need to show the results. And when you show the results, then obviously no one will stop you. And that way I go ahead, because challenges will be there. You cannot change the situation. What is in your hand? Action. But the right action, if you take it, then only you can expect the right results. So that way I move ahead. And post our marriage, obviously from 2009, we started like the physiopreneur journey together with the technical skill know-how and the management know-how. And till today and going forward, to help the community both way, for the patient and for the physiotherapist also.
Okay. So my next question is on marketing. सर बहुत सारे मतलब हमारे जो फिजियोज हैं वो मार्केटिंग करते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल फ्री कैंप ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं पेशेंट्स के लिए एवरी वीकेंड और एवरी मंथ. न्यूज़पेपर में एडवर्टीजमेंट देते हैं या पैम्पलेट्स प्रिंट करवा के डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं उनके आसपास के एरियाज में. सो कहीं ना कहीं मार्केटिंग का उतना आउटकम नहीं मिल पाता, रिजल्ट उतना नहीं मिल पाता. फिर वो मतलब डिप्रेस हो जाते हैं कि हम मार्केटिंग तो करते हैं लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं पेशेंट्स अट्रैक्ट नहीं हो पा रहे या हम उनको होल्ड नहीं कर पा रहे क्लिनिक पे. सर व्हाट इज द गुड मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटजीज, या मतलब सही मार्केटिंग कैसे करें?
Right. Do you like the term called marketing?
Yeah.
Do you like the term called marketing?
Marketing, yes sir.
You're right. Okay. But this is what is an experience. Okay. The moment we call the term marketing, most of the physiotherapists shy away. Right. I mean, वो term से ही दूर रखना चाहते हैं. Right. One is a marketing and करना चाहते हैं. Right. They want to have that understanding, but they don't like the term itself. Right. And secondly, another term called business. Right. ये दो term से ही लोग थोड़ा सा distance में रहते हैं. But thing is, जो word आप पसंद ही नहीं करते हो उसका आप कैसे justify करोगे वो fullest कर रहे हो. Right. When you don't like the term itself, you won't be doing that work good in a good way also. Right. So that's one. And secondly, as you mentioned, okay, कि क्या करना चाहिए, right? See, more than a marketing, okay, what matters is a personal branding, right? So you don't mix this with something called retail marketing, right? The people for other industries, yes, marketing holds good, okay, but for an healthcare industry, marketing comes later, but prior to that comes the personal branding, right? See, you need to walk the talk, right? So when you become such a personal brand that people can trust you, right? So you cannot run कि एक पे एक फ्री मिल जाएगा, 10% डिस्काउंट हो जाएगा, आज फ्री कैंप लगा हुआ है. Everybody knows now these are all the marketing these things to attract the people as such, right? Now people, what they want or they expect in a healthcare professional is the results. अगर उनको results मिले, you don't need to do any kind of marketing. आपको लोग ही इतना पॉपुलर कर लेंगे, ठीक है, कि you don't need to focus first of all on that parameter. Okay, तो उसके लिए पहले आपके में जो weaknesses जो है उसको आपको भरना पड़ेगा, लीकेज जो भी है वो प्रूव करना पड़ेगा. When you become a leakage free, okay, people will take you here and they will do all the marketing as such, right? And for that, because this is an intellectual industry, please understand. Okay, in an intellectual industry 1+1 मतलब एक पे एक फ्री चलता नहीं है. Okay, that's a commercial industry, right? Here people don't mind paying. What do they mind is basically not getting the results, right? If you are able to create, right, the results, their results through providing the proper physiotherapy treatment as such, then believe me, okay, you hardly need to do any kind of a marketing. See, being a marketing guy, I'm telling you, this the secret or the hard facts, right? Otherwise, what happens is, there are marketing agencies, there are so many marketing people, okay, who are available there, okay, वो करते हैं, क्यों कर रहे हैं marketing? Because they have that knowledge. They are being, providing their marketing services to the different industries. ठीक है, तो उसमें रिटेल होता है, उसमें एक अदर इंडस्ट्रीज आते हैं, ठीक है ना, वो इंडस्ट्री वो यहाँ पे अप्लाई करना चाहते हैं, राइट? And that is the reason you are not getting the results as such. The approach is wrong.
Approach is wrong. Yeah.
Approach itself is wrong. Okay. And even if, let me tell you, ठीक है, आप free camp कर रहे हो, right? Free camp करने के बाद भी let only 5 people come, doesn't matter. But उस 5 people, are you able to convert them into a patient? Believe me, one single physiotherapist cannot treat more than 20 patients a day. तो
Yeah.
उसे 20-25 पेशेंट्स चाहिए. अगर आप 20-25 पेशेंट्स भी नहीं ला पा रहे हो, that means that you are lagging in your skills. The inherent skills नहीं है. The inherent skills could be communication, the inherent skills could be the justification, inherent skills could be your assessment, inherent skills could be diagnosis, inherent skills could be your providing the sustainable recovery. When I'm talking about sustainable recovery, it's about 5 years, 10 years, 15 years of results, not some month, 2 month, or this kind of results as such, right? So this is what is missing, right? So this is what we are basically helping in our programs as such. And today, almost all of our physiotherapists or the mentees, you can say, okay, who have done this, practitioners, the PPP practitioners as such, okay, are they do not have the problem with any kind of patients now, right? They have the inflow. Rather, now they are getting invited in the different shows. They are inviting as a chief guest. They are inviting in other the talk shows and everything as such. And now they are leading. Okay, why it happens? Because now they know what they are doing it. Okay, and, when you know what you are doing it, when you are able to communicate rightly, and when you have the entire plan ready with you, believe me, you yourself become brand, and you yourself is a marketing. आप जो कर रहे हो वही आपको फॉलो करेंगे, and that is what is required.
सर, मैंने देखा है कि आपका जो वर्कशॉप है, जब उसको फिजियोज जो अटेंड करते हैं और उसको अटेंड करने के बाद जो लेवल का कॉन्फिडेंस उनके अंदर आता है, जो वो मतलब अपने आप को एक एनर्जेटिक फील करते हैं. मैंने आपके फीडबैक्स पढ़े हैं, उनमें उन्होंने लिखा है कि पहले हम 10 पेशेंट मतलब हमारे क्लिनिक पे आते थे, पर आफ्टर अटेंडिंग योर सेमिनार, योर वर्कशॉप, वो जो लेवल है, वो जो फ्लो है पेशेंट का, वो बढ़ गया है. बहुत आपके जो टेक्निक्स है बहुत सिंपल है, बहुत इफेक्टिव है, बहुत मतलब बढ़िया आप उसको एक्सप्लेन करते हैं. सर, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था कि आप मार्केटिंग फील्ड से हैं और मैम जो है वो फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट है, तो आपकी मतलब जो स्टोरी है, कैसे मतलब आप कैसे मिले, आपकी स्टोरी सर जानना.
अच्छा. See, I would say, we are destined to meet. Okay. The reason being, actually, as you rightly mentioned, okay, there was no connection between us, okay, or common friends, common एक relation में है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, right? We are all together different souls, different individuals, and different cities, and everything is different, right? There was no link itself for us to meet. Okay, I have come from a place called Hubli, okay, after my BE and MBA, okay, and I was doing a job in Pune as such, as a hardcore marketing, okay, and she's a doctor, okay, she was in Savangi, Vardha, right, doing her BPT as such, right. So, what happened is she had come here for her internship, okay, and I have shifted here in 2000 for my marketing job as such, right, as a campus selection, and I'm placed to an Bharat Forge, post which Kaburandam and all those things as such. But what happened one day is, I was basically driving, okay, I was driving, and I was standing on a circle as such, okay, और red light था तो इसलिए रुका हुआ था, traffic signal था, and I don't know what happened, right? So immediately, I saw that, truck, a military truck of 6 tons has passed on my tummy, right? So I could able to realize only after it went on, right? So I could not able to move my leg, I could not able to, वो उठ नहीं पा रहा हूँ, कुछ नहीं हो पा रहा हूँ, आजू बाजू में से सब vehicles जा रहे हैं. Nobody was basically stopping me to lift and help me. Okay, I was basically, and I saw my death at a very 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 near these things. Okay, probably अगर शायद और एक घंटा या half an hour कुछ लेट हो जाता तो शायद I would not have been in this world itself, right? But the person who accident जिसने किया हुआ, okay, तो उसको ही ट्रैफिक वाले ने बताया कि अरे यार तो क्या किया, पीछे एक्सीडेंट करके आया, तो जाके उसको ये कर. Then he stopped the vehicle and he came to me. Okay, तो दो soldiers थे. Okay, that was a military vehicle. तो उन्होंने मुझे ऑटो में लिया. Then I was basically got admitted to a Lokmanya hospital as such. Okay, and that's how my treatment started, right? So pelvis fracture, hematoma, then urethra rupture, right, and multiple fractures in my back as such. Okay, there were so many things that went on, right? And multiple surgeries took place basically. Okay, so I had when I had so many of fractures and everything, so definitely physiotherapy does come into picture, right? But initially surgery took place, and on 17th day of my hospitalization, she took over as an physiotherapist as such, right? And that's how we met each other. And in short, अगर मैं बोलना चाहूँ तो she is the reason for my recovery when it comes to physical part, right? And the systemic part, basically the surgeons as such, right? And at one point, there was one case where urethra जो rupture हुआ था मेरा. Okay, that surgeon basically told me that कि ये अभी on a normal way पे ये urination नहीं कर पाएगा, right? And in spite of having the 2 surgeries, right? So all of us were depressed, and she's the one who had given us that hope, and who not just a hope as such, but she was even able to find out a doctor, fortunately in the Pune itself, okay, who's Asia's #1, you can say, when it comes to robotic surgery. Okay, and through his help, okay, we underwent an surgery, and even my that surgery got video shooted, and उन्होंने अपना research अपना ही किया हुआ है, and he could able to publish it also, right? And that's how I got survived. Okay, and she is the reason for me for a complete recovery, right? And why I call it as an destined to meet here is, see, just before 1 month of my accident, right, I was engaged, right? तो मेरा 1st of May में engagement हुआ था 2004 में, and 4th of June. Okay, and after a month itself, I met with a major accident as such, right? So since my half of the body was paralyzed, तो problem ये होता है कि अभी शादी कैसे करें, right? And that's the reason I had to disengage that engagement as such. And from 2004 until 2009, it took a lot of time as such for me to recover as such. But yes, I was able to completely recover. And in 2009, I proposed her, and she basically took her to, asked me to speak to her parents, and that's how we both spoke to our parents together, and that's how our marriage took place.
Perfect.
And from there on, there is no looking back, right? From there, मैंने समझ लिया कि I am destined to meet, okay, to a doctor where that profession also needs a lot of an identity, right? Through my skill set and through her knowledge as such, okay, we want to make sure that this reach to the peak of an I can say the identity, you can say. Yeah.
Sir, my next question is on team building, because there are so many physios जो multiple clinic run करते हैं, more than one, more than two. बट उनके पास एक इफेक्टिव टीम नहीं हो पाती, जिसकी वजह से कहीं ना कहीं उनको या तो क्लिनिक बंद करना पड़ता है या फिर वो लॉस में जाता है. तो सर, हाउ टू बिल्ड एन इफेक्टिव टीम फॉर योर क्लिनिक?
Right.
How to
See,
trust your मतलब mates,
I
employees?
I understand your point, right? See, I'll put it this way actually. Okay, this is what has worked, right? See, why should people join you? Do you have a reason,
Yeah.
right? So people join for two reasons. One, they want to learn something that they do not know, right? And most important is which they can take away from your clinic, and they'll be able to work independently, okay, in these things, in their own in the profession. One thing we need to understand very, very clearly, okay, here everyone does this healthcare, I mean, the doctor to open a clinic. Their dream, okay, at one point of a time, they want to open their own clinic with their own name. Okay, ये कोई टुकड़ा नहीं सकता. This is what is their aim as such, right? But prior to that, they want to take an experience, right? So, are you able to give that experience to them? Right. This is an first thing the employers need to ask, right? Second, they join for salary, right? One of them, they are ready to compromise, right? दोनों नहीं मिलेगा, ये 100% श्योर है, राइट? हाँ, अगर आप सैलरी के ऊपर ही उनसे अगर काम करवाना चाहते हो, believe me, you will not be able to excel in your career, or you will not be able to excel in your practice as such. You can't be a good employer here. The reason is, okay, you can't pay them with the current skill sets the good amount, because they are not able to create a better revenues, okay, and because of that you can't able to pay them a decent earning. Okay, when I'm saying a decent earning, it should be at least some 75,000 rupees onwards, okay, for a city like probably a Pune also, okay, जहाँ पे वो 1 BHK रह सके और एक अपने family को लेके रख सके, okay. So when you can't do it, then you should focus on learning. Okay, what learning I can provide, okay, where they are ready to compromise on the earnings as such, right? But we need to be clear that we need to expect that yes, they'll be able to work here for a year, and they should be able to run their own clinic without any kind of a dependence as such, right? So if we are not able to provide them that 1 year of a learning as such, then why should they stay? They leave, right? उनको वही करना है जो ऑलरेडी जानते हैं, तो वो वही बोलेंगे कि फिर यहाँ पे लर्निंग कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, right? That is the reason why we have been able to succeed here. Okay, why people from all over India join us is because they get a continuous learning here. Okay, one is an uniformity in the treatment, on uniformity in everything that they do, and secondly is on a case-to-case basis, right? So उनको एक फुल ट्रेनिंग मिल जाएगा ज्वाइन होने के बाद, और उसके बाद केस टू केस बेसिस पे जो है ना, ओके, देयर इज अ कंटीन्यूअस फ्लो ऑफ लर्निंग व्हिच दे फील कि ये लर्निंग हमें कहीं पे नहीं मिल सकता है. सो व्हाट दे डू, दे स्टार्ट लर्निंग, ओके, ईच डे ईच पेशेंट उनके लिए एक नया लर्निंग भी बनता जाता है. सो बोथ पुट टुगेदर दिस एंटायर लर्निंग प्लस दैट 1 year of learning, okay, when they have it, then they'll be able to run their clinic next to their अपना घर के बाजू में डालो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, okay. So this we should be able to give, okay. When you are able to give this, then yes, you will be able to build an effective team. आएंगे, ज्वाइन करेंगे, महीने में निकल जाएंगे, 2 महीने में निकल जाएंगे, and it's not that कि we have not learned it, okay, we have also learned it right in the beginning, right, and that was the biggest challenge, believe me, okay. Recruitment and retaining people is the biggest challenge in this industry, because first of all there is no background verification, right? वो यहाँ पे जब छोड़ के चले भी जाएंगे तो उनको जो नेक्स्ट एम्प्लॉयर जो है उसका कोई बैकग्राउंड वेरिफिकेशन करता ही नहीं है. ओके, लाइक इन अदर इंडस्ट्रीज वेर इन द बैकग्राउंड वेरिफिकेशन होता है कि वही ज्वाइन कर रहा है 3 महीने में, छोड़ा क्यों फिर तो वहां पे, राइट? 6 महीने में क्यों छोड़ रहा है? क्या गारंटी है तू मेरे पास 3 महीने में फिर से ये नहीं करेगा, राइट? These are not that there is an independent agency which takes care of the background verification, right? That तो उस इसके लिए they are like कैसे behave करते हैं, there is an indiscipline in this industry. Okay, with that indiscipline the industry can't grow, right? So we must understand that all the stakeholders are responsible here. The employers need to give them the proper learning. Employees need to understand their prime responsibility and the patient disturbance in case if there is a frequent changes of manpower, right? And the entire practice gets disturbed. Okay, so both of them needs to understand their responsibility as such. Okay, when they understand it, then it will be good for the clinical practice growth also and the professional identity also. Otherwise इस तरह से behave करोगे then patient will like बोलेंगे कि यार लास्ट टाइम आया था तो कुछ अलग बंदा था, आज जब आता हूँ तो कुछ अलग है, उसका एक्सपीरियंस अलग है, इसका एक्सपीरियंस अलग है. ओके, दिस इज नॉट द वे.
पेशेंट भी रिलेट नहीं कर पाते हैं.
यस, they start complaining, right? So this is not the way to work actually. So that's the reason we have been basically brought in the uniformity in the practice as such, right? So we have brought in the uniformity of practice. We have brought in the uniformity in each aspect of the clinical area as such, so that they have a very much clarity in the beginning कि मुझे किस तरह से काम करना है, हर एक केस आएगा तो मुझे किस तरह से काम करना है, right? So वो clarity होने की वजह से एक expectation दोनों के हिसाब से एक set हो जाता है. Yes, my job is clear, my role is clear, and this is how I am going to do my duty, right? And the employer expectation is also very very clear. Okay, and this is how there has to be a coherence between employee and employer. Okay, it's not a trust issue. Okay, अगर employer first time ही अगर trust issue शुरू करेगा, then that's not a healthy environment. Okay, so you as an employer need to build that culture in your company so that people work with you trustworthy, right? तो तुम पहले से ही उसको नहीं बोल सकते कि तुम चोर हो. चोरी किया तो चोर बन जाता है ना, बिना चोरी के जब ट्रस्ट की बात आती है तो देन वो रिलेशनशिप जहां पे ट्रस्ट से शुरू होता है तो ज्यादा चलती है, राइट? सो दैट्स व्हाई वी बोथ नीड टू वर्क, आई मीन द एम्प्लॉयर एज वेल एज एम्प्लॉय.
सर माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज मैम सर आप दोनों के लिए कि व्हाट इज योर सक्सेस मंत्रा, व्हाट इज योर सक्सेस फार्मूला?
Let ma'am explain that, but prior to that, I would rather I would say, you can also say that, but I would say
stick. और मैम है, आप दोनों कैसे बाकी अदर फिजियो से अपने आप को एक मतलब एक वो बनाते हैं?
See, let me tell you this. Okay, stick to your fundamentals. Physiotherapy. Everybody followed other than the physiotherapy. And we followed only the physiotherapy, right? We went deeper into physiotherapies. Okay, see, understand one thing. अगर आपको कुछ कुआं खोदना है, अगर 100 फीट का कुआं खोदना है, तो आप 10-10 फीट के 10 खोदोगे तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला है,
पानी नहीं लगेगा,
पानी निकलने वाला नहीं है. अगर आपको कुआं खोदना है तो 100 फीट को आपको डीपर जाना पड़ेगा, right? And similarly, what we have done is, we went deeper. She went deeper into physiotherapy practice as such. Okay, and I went deeper into the clinical practice of a management factor, right? So जब एक deeper में जाएंगे तो we become masters, right? And ये बोलते हैं ना, like jack of all, master of none, right? So we are not jack of all and master of none. Okay, we are jack of none but master of one. Okay, so when you become a jack of none and master of one, then you will see the success. Okay, and this is what I want all of you to follow this thing. Okay, yeah. if you have any.
Yeah, I would like to add one point here that which I followed, and it is not basically the purposefully. The DNA itself is like that. Simply, every time we need, I need to focus. Like when I see, first of all, being a physiotherapist or being a when I see a patient also, I always focus that what I can do better for that patient. That is simple thing, and I always focused only on me, not on any other things. Most of the time, every physio, what they go with the things like, अच्छा वो क्या कर रहा है, उसने क्या किया, क्या चल रहा है, because when it goes with the distraction, you will not going to live about the win, but you will not going to cross that path also, and that is nothing. But if you introspect yourself, if you want to compete anyone, please compete yourself. Today, where I am, and let's say after 1 year, let's say after not even 1 year, let's say after 1 month, 5 months, 10 months, like 1 year. That way you can compete yourself where I am today. And last, and always reflect back. When it is reflecting back is nothing but just see yourself, keep 5 years down the line, or let's say 1 year just back, मेरा situation क्या था in terms of learning, in terms of everything, whatever you want to achieve in your life. But if when you compete yourself, you yourself will come to know that where I am exactly. Because the moment you see outside, it is simply, let me tell you in simple way, आप जब गाड़ी चलाते हो तो आप ड्राइवर सीट पे हो, तो ड्राइवर सीट पे बैठ के आप नजारा नहीं देख सकते. Then you should be a passenger. Passenger जो होता है, what they are doing nothing. They are just watching, but they don't have any control to say कि like अच्छा ये क्यों है, वो क्यों है. It is simply that way. When you take control of your own life, when you take control of your own profession, you are always at responsible side, and you don't have time to look here and there. You always focus on your own path, and that simply led you to a journey of success, I can say, because that way you can go for the mastery. And in physiotherapy, if you want to become a master, just master degree is not make you master. Get a mastery in physiotherapy. That is most important. The way I have created a PBPA protocol, basically, it is all about win-win situation for both patient and for the physiotherapist. So this way I can give a simple mantra. Consistency is the main thing, and always focus on yourself for your own development.
मैम जैसे अभी आपका जो फ्लायर था उसमें भी मैंने देखा था कि पीबीपीए जो आपका सिस्टम है, तो मैम व्हाट इज, थोड़ा ब्रीफ आप बता दीजिए व्हाट इज पीबीपीए.
So basically, PBPA is a practice-oriented approach which is copyrighted, and here P stand for pain management and respective BPA stand for basic, progressive, advanced exercises. So basically, it is a structured step-by-step exercise approach for all conditions which comes under the scope of physiotherapy, first of all. And that's the reason the uniqueness of this approach is like it is a very simple, doable, performable by every single patient, irrespective of their age group, whether it is 90-year-old person or whether it is a 2-month-old baby, I can say. And that's the reason every patient gets a sustainable long-term results. And the approach is famous and known for giving that sustainability results and avoiding the all planned surgery. At the same time, this protocol for the physiotherapist, it's basically neutralize their actually the experience also. That is nothing but even the fresher, being a physiotherapist, if he or she is a fresher, and the experienced physiotherapist, both will going to get the same sustainable results from their patient. And that way, basically, the way you have mentioned early, he post, you have seen the physios, basically the feedbacks, their confidence increases. Because see, confidence is directly related to your efficacy. When your efficacy is nothing but when you are efficient in all the aspect, in all 360-degree aspects, then obviously your confidence is directly proportional to that only. And that will going to increase. And this is nothing but what I have mentioned. It is a win-win situation. Patients get the complete result, the same time the huge learning, and most important, the skyrocket growth for earning point, financial point for the physiotherapists they are getting following our PBPA protocol approach based practice. And that is the reason the PBPA practitioners are like leading a blissful life, I can say.
See, it's a PPP approach. Okay, one is a patient. Okay, second is a physiotherapist, and third one is a profession. Okay, profession also gets uniformity in the practice as such, and that's how it gets the identity, right? Of identity of trust, you can say. Okay, कि physiotherapy करने से results मिलेगा, right? So we have an effort to create that this thing actually. Yeah.
मैम सर आपने जो एक रिसर्च पेपर मतलब पब्लिश किया था इन टर्म्स ऑफ फ्रीलांसर, तो आप उसके बारे में कुछ बताना चाहेंगे?
Yeah, sir will explain that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, freelancer actually अगर देखा जाए, it's a term almost 30% of the physiotherapists are using currently, right? And in one of the level 1 program as such, the 5 days program as such, okay, there was a candidate, okay, who raised a question. She said that sir, there are certain type of healthcare professionals, okay, who are cautioning the patients not to get treated by the freelance physiotherapists, right? So how to handle such kind of cases, right? How to handle such kind of cases, patients as well as the surgeons, right? Then we thought that okay, this is a very valid question, okay, and let's we basically took it and not immediately into research mode as such, but let's find out, okay, isme freelance anyway, even we did not like that term, okay, when people used to send us for a job and all those things, okay. So we just researched and then experimented, you can say, in Google, right? So what is first of all freelancer? Let me just see, right? Then we realized that freelancer is anyone, okay, who's working on his own terms, okay, and he doesn't answer to anybody, and employer ka koi under nahi hota hai. That is fine, but most important here is, okay, it is being used in certain kind of patchwork industries, or let's say it could be an वीडियो शूटिंग होता है, या कुछ वेबसाइट बनाते हैं, या कुछ क्रिएटिव इंडस्ट्रीज होता है, म्यूजिक का कुछ ये कर रहा है, कोई जिंगल बना रहा है, ऑल सॉर्ट ऑफ हेल्थ केयर का भी एक था उसमें, बट दैट इज बेसिकली एन ट्रांसक्रिप्शन, राइट? और इट कुड बी पीपल हु आर प्रिपेयरिंग हेल्थ केयर वेबसाइट्स एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स, ओके, बट nowhere it's being mentioned to use it for the primary healthcare provider. When I'm saying a primary healthcare provider, it doesn't mean that an emergency, but what I'm trying to say here is if a patient needs a physiotherapy and a physiotherapy is basically providing a treatment to them, then for him it is a primary treatment provider, right? So what we did is we took an sort of a survey, right? And for the participants itself, right, on a consistent basis, and the methodology was very, very simple. Okay, we asked only 2 questions, right? The first question was like, how many of you practice here as a freelancer, right? And we got nearly about 30% of that, people were practicing as a freelancer, and they use this term called freelancer, right? And the second question to that, following that second this thing question was like, if you or your family member is not well, you need to approach a doctor for taking a consultation, okay, for getting a consultation and treatment. So whom do you approach? Whether do you approach a freelancer or whether do you approach a full-time practitioner? And 90% of them, okay, was saying full-time practitioner. And probably those 10% जो आ रहा था, वो शायद वो रहेंगे जिसने खुद freelancer बोल के practice कर रहे हैं, right? So the conclusion is very, very normal. Okay, when you yourself do not prefer a freelancer, okay, then how do you expect that a patient will approach you and when you are using this particular called freelancer as such, right? Just because it looks very fancy, or just because it looks very aesthetic, these things, just it looks very cool, don't use the term which are not going to give you a growth as such. Okay, so just imagine how many people, you know, those those freelancers must have lost, okay, before approach itself, right?
Patients,
Before patient approach करने से पहले ही जो है ना, because the, you know, people usually, you know, search in Google, right, or wherever that, you know, all these things. तो अगर वो freelancer देखेंगे तो, you know, they'll just immediately, you know, reject you. तो आपको पता नहीं कि कितने लोगों ने आपको रिजेक्ट कर दिया है, एंड यू कीप ऑन सेइंग कि फ्रीलांसर हूं सर, मेरे पास पेशेंट नहीं आते. अरे पहले तो दैट वर्ड इटसेल्फ इज रॉन्ग, राइट? So, you know, this is how we arrived at a conclusion as such, and we published this paper, and, you know, it got published in Scoopers, right?
Yeah. And that is what actually the power of word, which word we need to use for, first of all, for ourselves, the same time, the same thing applicable to patients also. Because if you use right word, you're going to get the right result. I'm talking about communication level to result level. The same time, if you use the wrong word, obviously the direction itself will going to change. The way, like patient comes with the cervical spondyl, अच्छा cervical spondyl मतलब physiotherapy cervical spondyl है तो उसको physiotherapy करना है. So here itself the everything goes in the wrong way, because word has a power. If we use a right word at right time, you're going to get a magic result in all the aspect where you want. But that is what the understanding and the thinking out of the box and having the in-depth knowledge about what we speak, what we do, that all things comes.
And, you know, once we complete this thing, freelancer का जो एक survey करने के बाद हम लोग बताते हैं, you know, it becomes such an eye opener for them. And now, fortunately, you know, I hardly see people use this term. Right, you know, probably there could be another 10-15%, but like polio, like, you know, the other these things, okay, the way we have eradicated, you know, this kind of an deadly diseases as such, okay, we have to, you know, eradicate this deadly metaphors as well.
Because and believe me, this is our first paper presentation, but we are very happy because we always believe that whatever we do or whatever actually we did in our past, it should be practical and it should be applicable. सिर्फ theoretically और पेपर पर पब्लिश कर दिया, but वो लोगों को उसका application ही नहीं हो रहा है. तो I don't think so there is a point to do anything in the life, because at end user तक वो information और उसका application जाना बहुत जरूरी है.
And one more thing, you know, what the response basically we have received from the people or physiotherapist says कि sir or ma'am, you know, ये एक ही research paper है जो हम लोगों ने पूरा पढ़ा, because it is only 5 pages, right? In 5 pages they get so much of a clarity that, you know, they take a decision on that actually. Okay, and, you know, that's how, you know, it became I would say the most favorite as well.
लास्ट क्वेश्चन, अपकमिंग जो फिजियो जनरेशन है, जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं फाइनल ईयर के या जो अभी इंटर्नशिप कर रहे हैं, एनी मैसेज फॉर देम? आप दोनों का कोई मैसेज?
Again, my message is very simple. Okay, stick to basics. Okay, stick to fundamentals. Okay, physiotherapy has so much of a power. Okay, being a patient, I'm telling you. Okay, I always take it from the patient angle first, right? Physiotherapy has got every single solution for your for the scope that, you know, you require to become a successful in this thing, right? In this practice as such, right? But only because lack in the fundamentals, lack in the basics, okay, you are not able to build anything on top of it, right? So the day you start focusing within, okay, everything will be all right. And if you are not able to do it, just approach us, attend these level 2 programs as such, okay, and we guarantee you that you will definitely become successful in these practices. That's our guarantee. That's our promise. Yeah. And
I would like to only give one suggestion, very simple suggestion I can say. Being a student during your college days or during your internship, never hesitate to see number of patients. Like, अरे उसने 10 किया, मैं 10 क्यों देखूं? उसने तो 5 ही patient किया. So if you want to go ahead, exactly. So don't hesitate. जितना ज़्यादा patient देखोगे, you will going to understand and learn. And for the students, like, never learn a medical profession from exam point of view. This is an important question for exam. So let me focus only on supex. Let me focus only on shoulder joint. Leave about the TMJ joint. ओके रियल और रियल लाइफ में यही डिफरेंस होता है. आपको यहाँ पे रियल पेशेंट को ट्रीट करना है. थेरोटिकल अजम्पशन पे पेशेंट आने नहीं वाला है एंड ही विल पे ओनली इन अमाउंट व्हेन यू हैव एवरीथिंग. अदरवाइज व्हाट हैपेंस, एग्जाम के लिए पढ़ाई करते हैं, डॉक्टर बनने के लिए नहीं. इसमें बहुत डिफरेंस है. सो ऑलवेज फोकस टू लर्न फ्रॉम द बुक्स, नॉट जस्ट फ्रॉम द नोट्स कि अच्छा ये नोट्स है ये पढ़ लो हो गया. Follow the fundamental proper books. That is most important. And one most important suggestion I would like to give to all undergraduates who are not having license, that is nothing but your degree certificate and your basically the association certificate registration. Prior that, please don't go for any kind of pocket money in terms of home visits and all that things. I have seen many physios, अच्छा चलो फाइनल ईयर हो गया, सेकंड ईयर से होम विजिट करना शुरू करते हैं. होप मेरा पॉकेट मनी निकल गया, बस हो गया. बट सी प्लीज, दिस वे वी आर स्पॉइलिंग आवर ओन प्रोफेशन. ऑल स्टैंडर्ड्स, दैट इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. एंड बाय द टाइम यू कम, और जब रियल लाइफ में प्ले करना होता है ना, बीइंग अ फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट, आपको जब काम करना होता है तब आपका मोटिवेशन, तब आपका एक बेसिकली जो एक स्टैमिना होना चाहिए अर्निंग का, लर्निंग का, वो पूरा डाउन हो जाता है. बिकॉज हियर इटसेल्फ फोकसिंग जस्ट टू गो फॉर होम विजिट्स, उसमें अपना प्रोफेशन डिग्रेड होता है. और एक बंदे से अगर दिस वे इफ आई हैव अ सोच लाइक माइंडसेट कि मेरे अकेले से क्या होगा, अकेले से ही दुनिया बदलती है. सो दैट्स द रीजन. अगर आप ये बंद करोगे तो उसमें आपका प्रोफेशन, बिकॉज दिस वे वी कैन क्रिएट अ चेंज इन आवर प्रोफेशन. सो और जब लाइसेंस मिलता है तो नो वन कैन स्टॉप यू. और तब तो आपको घोड़े की दौड़ दौड़ना है. तो बेसिकली हैव दैट पेशेंस. फाइनल ईयर तक बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो, कंसिस्टेंसी से करो. नेवर थिंक कि इतना ही पढ़ना है, ऐसे पढ़ना है. सो सच ओनली सिंपल सजेशंस विल मेक यू सक्सेसफुल इन दिस प्रोफेशन.
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सर आज के इस टॉक शो के लिए. आई होप कि हमारे बहुत सारे जो ऑडियंस हैं, जो मेंबर्स हैं, उनको काफी क्लैरिटी मतलब आज मिली होगी रिगार्डिंग फिजियोथेरेपी एंड फिजियोप्रेन्योर. और मैं मतलब उम्मीद करता हूँ कि टाइम्स फिजियो प्लेटफॉर्म और सर और मैं आप हम फ्यूचर में कोई एक वर्कशॉप जो है अपकमिंग मंथ्स में उनको ऑडियंस के लिए लेके आएंगे. तो थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू मैम फॉर जॉइनिंग अस.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you everyone.
Bye bye, and wish you all the very
All
best.
the best.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone. Thank you guys for joining us today. Enjoy your Sunday, and we'll meet someday with new topic and a new with new comments. Bye.